Hey, it's July 6th, 3:56 p.m. and I'm still messing with the positioning of this camera. So let's just do a quick reading and see what comes out for you today. This is for everybody. No matter what your sign is, this is just what God wants you to know right now. Elemental of Swords. Okay, so I got to change this angle. That's a little better. So there's clarity coming to you regarding multiple situations in your life, not just one today. And I'm being asked to suggest to you that you get into attunement or alignment with the element of air. So I'm not sure if you're a Reiki healer of some kind or a practitioner of some sort, but the element of air needs you to help cleanse the air inside you. The devil following it. There is clarity coming to you regarding some addiction or some sort of restriction that you've experienced previously or up to this very moment that is being made clear to you through something you're looking at and something you're sensing. There's a spirit on the side of this. All right? There. So you could be writing in a journal and then coming to a realization. You could be definitely creating something or thinking of creating something. And it could really be something as simple as writing in a journal. One more. What else do they need to know today? The Elder of Swords. This seems strangely familiar. Elemental of Swords, the Devil, Novice of Wands, and the Elder of Swords. Initiative Pentacles at the bottom. Okay. There is an experience you're going to experience today that's going to require you to mature really quickly and to take control of your own mind to be able to function energetically and creatively with logic and reason. So it could be something that happens that gives you a sort of trigger in a way of something that affected you previously. I'm being drawn to her foot on the carpet and the rose petals on the floor. I don't know what that means to any of you, but there's rose petals and leaves flying over here too from the elemental of air, of swords. Clarify the elemental of swords, please. 5 of Wands. Some clarity coming to you, some communication that might cause conflict regarding multiple people in your lives who have put their nose into business that didn't belong to them. People that try to manipulate you into, someone here or multiple people here have been going to multiple different oracles to get information, and these oracles have been utilizing your energy through the ether stream for their own gain. For others of you, there are a few people around you, could be friends, family, co-workers, who have been silently plotting and causing conflict in your life. The advice in that situation is take the higher road. Don't engage in the conflict. For others of you, there is an internal struggle regarding your thoughts and what you want to do with your energy, which causes you stagnation because you take no action, because there is a fire and ice kind of imbalance. Others of you, there's a lot of creativity and passion inside you, but every time you try to put it into a physical manifestation, the fire and the air combust and explode, and you just give up and you lay there and do nothing. It's like it's too much energy. Others of you, there are ancestors, guides, and beings assisting you, including humans and others on the internet, that are giving you advice on how to move forward out of self-imposed bondage and how to utilize your gift for some others of you and you're unsure on how to move forward to create something that is unfamiliar to you. Because you're being asked, in order to get to the Elder of Swords status, you need to utilize the Novice of Wands. And there's conflict with the wands based on your intuition. It feels like you've been programmed to dismiss your intuition, and now the air elementals, the sylphs, are coming in, clarifying the fog of your life to show you where the conflict was so that you can handle it with grace. Utilize your childlike creativity and curiosity to bring a sense of youthfulness and regeneration to the, excuse me while I say this, to the bitter bitch inside. We all have one. For others of you, this could be a conflict in a relationship that you have, and a relationship could be with anybody in your life. Any connection you have with someone else is a relationship. This does not feel romantic. This does not feel family. This feels very... In Dungeons and Dragons terms, this feels like chaotic neutral. Like, this person truly doesn't give a fuck about you, but they enjoy causing conflict. This person that is depicted as the High Priestess here next to the Five of Wands, it's like 5 or 6 people in your environment are utilizing the internet to cause manipulation, to gain that energy from the people they're manipulating to better their status, but it's just keeping you stuck. It's kind of like waking up in the morning and having a cup of coffee, and then someone taking that cup of coffee from you, and then you got to go get another cup of coffee, and then another person shows up taking it from you. It's like you're being asked to stand your ground towards those around you that would keep taking from you energetically. This definitely has to do with someone you go to for advice, that they harness the energy you provide them by watching them. And they do. The King of Swords, the Elder of Swords, is a very wise person, very logical, very rational, but very self-centered, very by the book, very legally, logically cold. The Novice of Wands is completely the opposite. It's like the Page or the Knight of Wands. It's like somewhere in between. Someone who's just learning how to handle creativity. The Devil card here isn't about anybody imposing bondage on you. It's about self-imposed bondage based on the opinions of a High Priestess who is in conflict with multiple others, and they're utilizing that energy to keep others stuck. This really feels like a high school drama with a teacher stepping in to dispel the conflict. Because there's a Page of Pentacles down here, and the Knight of Pentacles underneath that. Definitely someone coming in to bring you an offer to dispel the conflict. So whatever conflict you feel internally or externally, disengage from it. Yeah, 3 of Swords, 2 of Cups. You've been dealing with somebody who hasn't been honest with you. They've utilized your pain. Look, Magician at the bottom of the deck. The broadcaster, the spellcaster, the internet person, the person with a YouTube channel, someone with a business, someone with someone that's seen by the public. Any other advice you have? Temperance. Be patient. Do not engage in the conflict. Bring fire and ice together. In this situation, it's fire and air. Can you find a way to combine fire and air without combusting? This could also be, and it's a message I'm just getting now, yeah, right here, a possible romantic interest or somebody very close to you, like a mother figure, extending an offer, but you don't want anything to do with it. You're like looking at that offer and you're like, nah. Because you feel like they're lying with the Moon and the Hangman. Like there's something there that you're not seeing. And it seems like you're right on that. Let's get this one for any closing advice. I hope you guys are doing well. Don't let this petty conflict or drama, whatever the fuck's going on in your life, ruin your day. Just dismiss it. The moment you feel that negative energy, let it go. The moment you feel that conflict, take the High Priestess route. The moment you see these ants and these dogs barking, take the high road. The moment you feel somebody talking to you and bringing up past pain, remember the love. The moment somebody brings up the love that you had, that you lost, or that was taken from you, or that was manipulated out of you, remember the good moments. Balance it out. It's like someone is, yeah, there's temperance down here again. It's like a universal test of alchemy. Can you take something so combustible and create a warm breeze instead of an explosion? Because usually when you mix fire and air, you get an explosion or an amplification of destruction through a wildfire. But you're being asked to balance, harmonize, align, acknowledge the pain, write it out, acknowledge the conflict, don't speak of it. Acknowledge your thoughts, write them down, but take action towards your emotions and curiosity, not your thoughts. The sword with the Elder of Swords is upwards. He's not taking action, he's communicating. The wand with the Novice of Wands, he's about to light it on fire. In the Devil card here, she's writing in the journal. The Elemental of Swords, she's floating high above all the other drama. Temperance here, balancing things. Two of Cups next to Temperance. A connection that needs to be healed. Three of Swords next to the Two of Cups. A connection that needs to be healed. High Priestess next to the Three of Swords, next to the Two of Cups. A connection that needs to be healed that has been dismissed and silent for too long. The Five of Wands with the High Priestess and the Three of Swords. Conflict regarding someone you are not speaking to, but that requires healing in order to move forward, because the conflict and the pain is keeping you stuck in a state of conflict and pain, when that conflict and pain was intended to be brought to you so that you can use it as creativity to expand your mind and your awareness and your wisdom. But instead, you've listened to multiple other people telling you what pain is and what to do with that pain, when you yourself knew that that pain was fuel for the fire instead of fuel for gossip. What is this? The Knight of Cups. Okay. So you're going to get a message that's probably going to tick you off today. And if it does, keep your cool and acknowledge that you've been harboring this pain inside you, and this message was brought to you to help you close out a chapter, the world. So that wound had to be made known to you again so that you can acknowledge it needs healing instead of denying. And if you're wounded and you're trying to find somebody to share your cup with, please don't, because you're just going to end up hurting that person. Three of Swords, Two of Cups, the Devil, and the Novice of Wands. That's somebody that's really fucking hurt, and they're trying to constantly make something work with someone else, and that other person cannot lower their vibration enough to get to the state of pain that this person's in, so they keep avoiding each other. Oh, this is not what I thought this reading was going to turn into. I'm sorry for whatever you guys are going through. This seems a little heavy. The Lovers, the Chariot, Strength again. 6, 7, 8. There is definite progress forward if you can let go of the pain. Truly let go of the vibration of pain. Get it the fuck out of your body. It is not serving you. Nobody's going to look at you as if you deserve coddling or comforting if you're in pain. They're going to look at you like you're going through karma and paying karma back. So stop suffering needlessly, waiting for somebody to come and save you. Save yourself. No one's moving forward to help you with this Two of Cups and the Chariot, because above the Three of Swords is the Lovers. There is someone who is wounded regarding a relationship and they want to move forward, but you can't move forward when you're missing limbs and you're wounded and bleeding all over the fucking chariot. Hierophant, Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. Take the opportunity presented to you by a neutral third party that is giving you the insight and wisdom and energy to choose a path that is outside of your comfort zone in order to bring about healing in a relationship and within yourself. The healing in that relationship will not occur until you get that pain out of you and you balance your emotional state back to a state of free, loving, joyful, happy, elevated mind and emotions. If you're in conflict, the only relationship you're going to get is probably a relationship where someone's biting your hand off. And if you're forcing something to occur that is meant to be closed, then all you're going to be seen as is somebody who doesn't know how to let go. And nobody wants to be with somebody who doesn't know how to let go. If you're constantly making an offer to somebody who's moved away, the Knight of Cups to the World, if you're making that offer to somebody who's moved away and doesn't choose you, and they're choosing something else and moving towards that, you cannot force them with tradition or the past or a wand or a dang or a dong or whatever, because they just won't be interested, because all they'll see is the conflict and desperation. And if you want somebody desperate, that's when you go and get a hooker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a totally different vibration. You want a queen, you want a lover, you want a soulmate, you want a goddess, then you're going to have to act like a king, a soulmate, a god, a husband, a father, a good man. And a good man does not break the heart of a woman he loves. A good man does not cheat. A good man does not go outside the relationship to get advice from somebody when the relationship he's in is the advice he needs. So if I'm in a relationship with this character on the Lover's card, I'm not going to go to the High Priestess to get advice on how to talk to my wife. I'm not going to go to the Emperor to get advice on how to deal with my husband when my husband's a Novice of Swords or a Novice of Wands. I'm going to talk to my husband or my wife. If I'm trying to move forward, I'm not going to tell this lion on the chariot which way to go while I don't tell this one and expect it to just know. If I'm going to a priest for something or somebody of a member of a community, and they're giving this energy and advice to you to move forward in life somehow, but it requires you to get out of your comfort zone, then the advice is do that. Start giving back. Maybe this time, this conflict is so that you can see you need to be taking care of yourself and not throwing yourself at the feet of other people because you're wounded and you want comfort. If you can't comfort yourself out of grief, no high priestess or card reader anywhere can do it for you. You must learn to utilize the strength within you, taught to you by the divine, on how to balance your emotions. This pain was brought into your life so that you could learn how to transmute it. Five of Wands, Temperance. Two of Cups, Temperance. Three of Swords, Temperance. High Priestess, Temperance. The World, Strength. Lovers, Strength. Chariot, Strength. Hierophant, Strength. Ace of Wands, Strength. Two of Cups, Strength. Six of Pentacles, Strength. You're literally being shown at the end of each pile here how to use your mind, how to balance your emotions and your mind, and how to have the strength to move forward physically with your mind and your emotions in balance. But the only energy I keep getting is you want to move away from the conflict and just go back to happily ever after. Happily ever after doesn't exist anymore because that Queen of Pentacles you're after is protecting her pentacles because you hurt her or him. And if you hurt him or her, and you're not making things better by bettering yourself, then this Queen of Pentacles is going to keep thinking you're just going to come back and hurt her. So she's trying to protect herself while you're trying to chase after her with this fucking, canoe. And she's off in her castle, and you're like, come here, baby, let me love you. And she's like, bye, bitch. Why? Because at some point, you caused massive amounts of pain to this person based on some other bitch's opinion. When what you should have been doing is speaking to your partner with the problems you were having with your partner, the Three of Swords and the Two of Cups. Why is a High Priestess involved in the Three of Cups? The Three of Swords and the Two of Cups. That's a third party. That's absurd. My ex used to do this. He would go to his mother to gossip and talk about me, the problems me and him were having, but he wouldn't talk to me about it, and our relationship exploded. And then he accused me of not talking to him or not hearing him. And I'm like, how am I supposed to listen to what you're saying when you're off there drinking and dating your mom, but you're sitting here complaining at me for not listening to you? Like, what the fuck? Ugh, this feels weird. I don't know who needed to hear this, but I can feel your energy, and let me tell you this, and please do not be offended by this, but there is a smell of desperation within your aura regarding something you screwed up that you want to fix. Two of Cups again, Six of Cups. You definitely screwed up a relationship based on somebody else's opinions. You listened to a high priestess that didn't care about anything but money. You listened to someone that was completely out for their own gain. Maybe it was a tarot channel that was just after subscribers and likes and shit, and they weren't doing God's work. They were just doing work, and they treated cards like they're cards. They treat, reading cards like it's just fucking flipping a picture book. They don't respect the sacredness and sanctity of the abilities of an oracle. That this high priestess that you went to, maybe it was 5 different ones. They filled your mind with a lot of bullshit. So use the elemental of swords that came out to, you know what, before I give you any advice, let me let God give you that advice, because it doesn't matter if I'm channeling or not. You guys like seeing the cards first. What is the advice? Novice of Pentacles. Apologize. Be a grown-ass adult. Elder of Wands. Apologize. Be a grown-ass adult. If someone doesn't want to be with you, don't force them to be with you. If you screwed up a relationship, Ten of Swords. Let it go. If there was a third party in the situation and that person's not interested in you anymore, there is nothing you can do to make them interested in you. It's chemistry. It's alchemy. They're on a different phase in their life. You can't chase after a running dog. You just can't. The Chariot. You can't chase after a running dog. Oh my God. The Chariot and the Star. Now let me give you some compassion here. I'm sorry, truly, for whatever you did that caused this person to see you in a different light. But take responsibility for what you did, because you played just as big of a role, if not a bigger role, in pushing this person away into the arms of other people than, they did by making you push them away. You know how sometimes narcissists are like, well, she made me do it. She made me cheat. Or like some bitches are like, oh, he made me get pregnant because he was all like leaving. And I was like, how am I going to keep him? So I got pregnant. Like that bullshit. This is that kind of low vibe thing I've been picking up on in this reading. And it's gross. Whatever happened, it's over. If you want to move forward, you need to apologize, communicate, give it time, and let the wounds heal. You cannot go to a doctor and ask to have something stitched up and then go out and bungee jump, because then the stitches will come out. If you go to a dentist and you get a tooth removed or something, you can't just come outside and smoke a cigarette. You might get a dry socket. If your dog is pregnant and she's about to give puppies, you can't give those puppies away immediately. You have to wait at least 8 to 10 weeks, if not more. If something is over and you're constantly trying to bring it back to life, you may as well call yourself a necromancer, because you're trying to reanimate the dead. What was is no longer. Ten of Swords. What is can move forward, but not in the way you want it. The Star card isn't only about wish fulfillment, it's also about taking responsibility for what you want and what you've done. There's something that you've done that has caused an ending, and you can't seem to comprehend that you caused it, that your choices influenced that. And if you do think that and you do accept that, then give it some time, move from this person, move away, not physically or whatever, but go have a day on your own. Stop thinking about it. Stop worrying about it. Stop blaming yourself. Stop accusing other people. Stop being so wounded and vulnerable and victimized by your choices, by your emotions. I'm getting the feeling somebody might have cheated here, and this person's just not into this situation anymore because someone cheated, and they're like, I can't ever trust you again because you cheated in 5 minutes that I turned my back. Like, look at that. She turned her back, and there's a broken sword over there already. Now she's breaking that one because she's like, I can't even trust that this one's going to stay. What good is this clarity when all those other ones ended up being broken truths? If this truth is also breakable, then what the fuck is the point of you in this life? All you're going to do is bring broken swords to this person if you can't keep your word. So this person isn't even listening to your word anymore. They're looking at your actions and your energy, pentacles and wands, because I know your words are breaking and broken. So if you're trying to win this person over again, or the situation, and I'm really feeling this is a relationship where somebody screwed something up and they're trying to get somebody back, and that person may as well be a ghost in their life now. The best thing you can do here is apologize, take responsibility, act like a man, act like a woman, whatever the situation is, be your best self, show this person who you really are, and walk away. Let them come back to you if they want to be with you. Don't go chasing waterfalls, because you're just going to end up flying over the edge, and then you're going to be like, ah, and then no one's happy. You know what I mean? What else do we have here? Ace of Wands. Take this opportunity in life to be a better person. Maybe this person that came into your life, it looks like they might have had black hair, maybe white hair. Maybe they have white hair that they dye black. Maybe it's a little bit of like blonde hair. I don't know. I can get into physical features, but I'm not going to. Whoever this person was, maybe they were in your life to remind you how much you're not being authentic to yourself. Maybe they came into your life to show you how you've imposed things on yourself based on other people's beliefs. Maybe you've treated this person the way your family treated you, or you saw your family treat each other, and this person didn't want any of it. This person wanted to be treated completely differently. You thought you were doing the right thing, but all you were doing is creating a sense of poverty, isolation, and loneliness in this person. And the more this person tried to communicate it to you, the more you told them, next, wait in line, please, wait in line, please, wait in line, please. And all this person wanted to do is give you their heart, and you're busy over there trying to take care of everything else. So this person walks away and leaves you, and you're like, oh no, I'm so sad, this person left. And then you're offering this cup to this person again, and this person's like, look at all these years I spent with you, and all these years where you didn't even acknowledge that I existed and sat here and acknowledged that we were losing time together and emotions. So this person told you repeatedly how they're feeling, but you weren't listening because you were busy focused on money. So now that you want to extend this offer to this person's not having any of it because they're flying on their own, not having to deal with the drama you brought into their life. So if you want to come into their life, remove the drama, bring the spark back, be emotional, be honest, be open, be vulnerable. And for fuck's sake, stop going to other people for advice. Talk to your wife, talk to your husband, talk to your God. Like, if you're going to get advice from other people regarding your relationship, then have the person you're in a relationship with there while you're getting the fucking advice. I mean, is that so hard to comprehend? Like, if I'm in a relationship and I'm watching a card reading, or for some fucking reason with my partner, I'm going to bring my partner there to watch the card reading with me. I don't want to sit there watching some crazy bitch on YouTube telling me my partner's cheating when my partner's sitting there doing fucking homework. Or whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? It's time to take responsibility for your choices. Your choices have led you to this point, and your choices will lead you to the next point. If you want a different outcome, make better choices. If you want a queen, if you want a goddess, then you have to be someone who is worthy of that. You know this to be true. So, Closing advice, closing advice. 3 of Wands, High Priestess, 4 of Wands. Again with the 5 of Wands. That's 3 different decks that the 5 of Wands came out into. You've definitely had too many cooks in your kitchen. 3, 4, 5, 6 of Wands. And I've shuffled this deck for days on camera. I don't even know how this is possible anymore. There is a High Priestess giving you the insight that you need to move forward into a stable future. In order to do that, you have to acknowledge the High Priestesses in your life that haven't been giving you good advice. And you need to walk away from them. Because there are a lot of fake ones out there. Again with the High Priestess and the 5 of Wands in the 3rd deck in a row. There is a High Priestess in your life, possibly 5 of them, that you're subscribed to somewhere that you go to, maybe 5 co-workers, maybe 5 people who are intuitive in your life. Could be a mother, grandmother, a sister type of figure, very feminine. But also there's at least 2 masculine energies. And you can tell these masculine energies because they gloat when other people are hurting. They say that it's their karma. They say that they're suffering because it's what they deserve. They say that they're going through some shit, that there's a storm they're in and they have nothing to do with that storm. It's like somebody points out pain but doesn't do anything to heal it. They just look at this guy's face. That's what I'm trying to describe. Look. I'm sorry, I can't really get it to focus. This camera does not have autofocus. It should. Can you see that? Anyway, he looks happy that he's fighting and that he's knocked the other person down and this other person missed the attack. This guy looks happy about it. These 2 look like they're sparring with the 3rd person there. They're just having fun. Like they don't even care what's happening with their wands. They're just banging around. This guy, though, full frontal, doesn't give a fuck about what he's putting anybody else through. You have the opportunity. Your ships are coming in. 3 of Wands is here, followed by the 4 of Wands. But if you make this move in your life based on what treacherous people tell you to do, you will only experience more conflict. If you follow this path forward with your intuition, your instincts, your heart, and your mind open, active, and aligned, 3, 4, 5, 6, you will find your happily ever after before you can even imagine how it would be. You're so close, like a sliver of a new moon, to receiving that which is yours. But the conflict in your life right now is showing you who you're involved with that has not led you towards happily ever after or stability. Instead, these people you've listened to have brought you to a state of conflict to only benefit themselves. I can't tell you who these people are. There's billions of people in the world, and you guys are all across the world, and I have no idea what time zone or even year you're watching this video. But what I can tell you is the people you're getting advice from, there are multiple ones that aren't giving you advice for your highest and greatest good. They're giving you advice for their pockets, for their entertainment, for their checkbook, for their, subscriber count, for their some bullshit, ego thing. There's so much fire here. There's so much wands. There's so much potential for growth. But you must recognize who the snakes in the grass are in your life. No high priestess worth her salt would ever, 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 ever find joy in the suffering of others. Ever. If she did, that power would be taken from her by the divine. The role of an oracle, of a high priestess, is to illuminate and enlighten and to guide. It is not to lead your life. It is not to cause conflict in your life. It is not to get you to turn against each other. And I'm telling you right now, right here, as a messenger, as an oracle, there are people in your life you've been listening to that have been manipulating you. And the best thing you can do for yourself and those around you is to establish who is truly, authentically aligned with you and who isn't. Who would you like to think about it this way? The people you watch on YouTube, would you introduce any of them to your grandmother? Would you repeat any of their advice to your grandkids? Would you put any of the advice you hear from these 5 people, for example, that have been giving you advice? Would you let that advice be passed on to your great-grandchildren? Would you let your daughter listen to the advice from these oracles? If not, why do you think that this advice is worth it for your marriage so that you can have kids? Use some foresight. Utilize the High Priestess energy to look at what's coming in for you, the potentiality of all the happiness coming, and see what's blocking it. The 5 of Wands. Who's making you feel bad about what you want, and who's not giving you actual advice to better yourself so you can move forward alone or with someone else? You have the opportunity here to bring a lot of people together in peace. But if you allow these other people to continuously tell you what to do, when you know yourself that it's time to take leadership of your emotions, your actions, and your mind, there's a discrepancy here on what you want and what you're doing, and it has to do with somebody whispering in your ear on what you should be doing. I'm really getting the vibe of somebody who's like manipulative and narcissistic, but pretends to be like almost like a nun online. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I just saw the image of a nun. Somebody pretending to be like really, really, really kind, really funny, really just simple. I'm seeing like overalls, really just, now I'm seeing a shower of black feathers. I don't know what the fuck that means. It's like and I'm seeing mud, like a foot stuck in the mud. A tire rotating in the mud, like something's stuck in the mud. This person has been keeping you stuck in the mud, whoever it is. And I can't tell you if it's a male or female or anything. All I know, all I'm being told to tell you, is that it's someone you trust on the internet. And someone you trust in your physical environment. Wands are physical. They're energy, but they're also physically on wands. They're held. They're controlled. They're moved. Oh, this is so fucking heavy. Exactly, Becca. Exactly. And this person has not been watching their actions. These people have been putting on like a glitz and glamour show to these people, like to the viewers. And the viewers have been like, oh, this person must be so real and so authentic. But they're just snakes in the grass with like wigs and costumes and, fake teeth and glitter and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, that stuff is normally okay. But when it's being used to deceive, it's treacherous. An oracle has nothing to gain from giving you advice other than the benefit of you living a better life. If someone's gaining something that is like egocentrically making them cackle almost with how much they're finding joy in other people's suffering, walk away from that shit. Like, why would you even go donate money to a priest who molests children, for example? Why would you go to a doctor who purposefully botches surgeries? Why would you go to an oracle who purposefully gives you bad advice just to get something out of you? And this lesson is being taught to some of you by source so that you can see who the snakes are and who they aren't. Because a lot of you have, like Becca said, been believing words and not actions. 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. You're seeing the reality of the situation, but you're still thinking, but what if? Like, look at this guy. All those pentacles are grown there, and this guy's like, but what if another one shows up there and it's better than those? What if this happens here? What if another one grows here? I should stand here and wait, and maybe this high priestess is going to change. No, baby. This high priestess, whoever it is that you've been going to, has no intention of changing. It's who they are. And I mean no offense to anybody in my family, but there are people in my family who have no intention of changing, and they know exactly how hurtful they are. It's just who they are. Your choice is, do you continue to associate with people who leave you feeling poor, broke, alone, in conflict, isolated, wounded, betrayed, lied to, just because you've invested time and money into it? Or do you say fuck it and move on? Again, with the High Priestess at the bottom. And the Six of Wands. Well, that's good. That's great. High Priestess, Six of Wands, Ten of Cups. You finally are starting to make the connections that a true High Priestess will help you succeed in life, instead of constantly telling you, there's somebody fucking your wife. Like, fuck that. No, if there's a third party in the situation, it's because you invited that third party into the situation because of your energy, because something wasn't good enough for you. So get rid of the third party, talk to your partner, communicate honestly, communicate openly, take responsibility for what you've done, what you want to do, make plans, make goals, have foresight, be honest, be authentic, and fucking be transparent. No one can guess what's going on in your mind, even the strongest of oracles or telepaths, because you are God incarnate. You make your choices and you co-create your reality with the Almighty. And if you're constantly going to crooked ass fucking, Betty Joe Bob fucking whatever, and I'm saying Betty Joe Bob because BJ right there, oracles from the boondocks, like, you ain't gonna get shit from them other than conflict and poverty. I've seen so many people on the internet, on YouTube, like, throwing hundreds of dollars on live streams to people who are literally telling them, bitch, your partner's cheating on you with a fucking Scorpio, and then there's a Pisces who's sucking dick, and then this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, people pay to hear that? Yeah. And that's what God wants you to see. Remember, I asked God the advice to give you. Notice the oracles causing conflict. Notice the oracles causing victory. Which one's bringing you happiness and which one's bringing you poverty? Which one do you invest in that is benefiting from your energy while you're not benefiting from your energy? Some of you really need to sit down and call back all your energy to yourselves. Like, do it right now. Take a deep breath, put your feet on the ground, and say, throughout all space and time, I call back my energy to me. I call back my power to me. I call back my money energy, my love energy, my life energy to me in this space, here and now. Call your saints, call your guardians, shield yourself. Even if you just draw on a piece of paper a circle with like a little stick figure that represents you, do that. Protect thyself. There are people around you who have been really messing with you, and it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. The job we do here as oracles and messengers of God is nothing to like be paid for. When people give us donations, it's a fucking blessing, and it helps us with our lives deeply. But some of these oracles you've been going to, they've turned this into a job, which is sacrilege. It's fucking sacrilege. You don't need us to work your intuition for you. What you need us for is to show you where you're confused, to clear the fog, to remind you that you're God, to remind you that you're love itself and light itself, to show you what world you're in so that your decisions can be appropriately made in regards to the world you're in, so that you can get to the world you want to be in. You live in a multi-dimensional, infinite reality, and you're sitting there, over dramatic experiences based on some fucking relationship bullshit. You deserve better than that. So stop letting these crooked bitches online tell you that your person's cheating, or like your wife's pregnant from another man, or like, oh, this person's sick with this STD or whatever. No, it's them. They're the sick ones. They're the ones doing that because they're not giving you any advice. They're not giving you guidance. They're not reminding you to ground yourself and center yourself. They're just adding more drama and energy and fire and air to cause an explosion so that you release the money like a fucking piñata. Notice that. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to take a fucking word I say as truth or gospel or anything. Notice it for yourself. Go outside, go onto the internet, click any other YouTuber, click any other anything. Notice the vibrational difference when someone cares about you and when someone cares about themselves and their pockets. You can do this. It's time to learn to trust your intuition. Because I'm getting real tired of these fake ass card reading tramps making a living off of your suffering. It's disgusting. And I can't stop it. And I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to partake in it. But if you come to me here, rest assured, the only thing I want from you is for you to live a better life. And to not be surrounded by these bitches. It's like high school all over again. And it's terrible. You deserve better. How long has this been going? 45 minutes? Yeah, Becca, it really is. Like, the Little Mermaid went to Ursula to get, something she could have gotten herself if she just peeked her head out of the water and talked to the prince with courage and confidence. But instead, she went to somebody else to do her work for her, to make her look like someone she's not and behave like someone she's not. And then we had that entire drama unfold. So no matter which way you go, you'll eventually learn. But I'm here giving you the shortcut. There's people around you lying to you, and the sooner you can recognize who they are and how close to you they are, the sooner you can remove them from your life so that you can, how do I put this? There is a life that you haven't even noticed you can have. There's a vibration of reality that you're unaware of. It's so high that you might think that it's just reserved for monks and Buddhists and people wearing white robes and communes. But that reality can be yours in modern day, to day, 9 to 5, whatever. All you got to do is recognize the ones that are pretending to be high vibe and the ones that actually are. And there's no way I can tell you how to spot them, because in your reality, they're different than they are in mine. In my reality, most of the high vibrational people literally just wear PJs and they go sit outside in the yard and they talk and we just hang out. And like the super low vibe ones look really classy. They got wigs on, they got makeup on, they got like all this glitz and glamour and like all these shiny things, and they're just like fake. And it has nothing to do with accessories. It has to do with the need to cover up the self. Because jewelry, makeup, it's beauty. It's addition to the beauty you already are. But if people are doing it to manipulate, then you know it's not real. They're covering up the ugly. So start to recognize these things. I had a heads up when I was very little. I was left alone a lot. So I got to really analyze people from a distance. I got to see how people were face to face and how they were behind closed doors. Like my parents, great people, but they were different people to anybody they interacted with. They were one person to one person, they were another to another. Each person they interacted with brought out a different fragment of personality. So I got to see how people manipulate each other very, very effortlessly. And it disgusted me at a very young age. So for the next few hours, do your best to recognize the people on the internet that are keeping you in this. 4 of Cups. There's a few readers I've come in contact to recently who people said, oh, this person is a genuine oracle. And I clicked on their YouTube channel and these people have pre-pulled spreads that they're literally not reading accurately. They have a made up story. They pull a pre-pulled spread that's like aligned with colors and clothing. And then they're like, oh, this is the message that came through for you for spirit. Bitch, it wasn't from spirit. You sat there flipping those cards yourself, putting them in order, matching the colors, and then you aligned your clothes with them just to make it look like synchronicities. Learn to recognize when someone is lying to you. A true oracle will always have the cards here for you to see. They will have some kind of ritual for you to do. They will give you some kind of an advice that will be so alien and foreign to you. You know, there'll be a sense of mysticism to these people, the genuine ones, a sense of sacredness, like a holy ground kind of energy to them. Start to recognize this. You guys have been, a majority of us have been stuck in the lower vibrations for so long. We think angels just flying feathery things. Like, we forget sometimes how the word sacred is supposed to feel. It just becomes a word after a while. What is this? The Eight of Pentacles. Okay, maybe it's time to put your emotions on the side for a little bit. Focus on something, create something, help someone around you, distract yourself from the topic at hand, and allow the clarity to come to you. Yeah, the Tower. Let the Tower fall. There are people in your life who are, yeah, Becca again, like in the beginning, said it perfectly. Snakes reveal themselves by behavior. Disregard their words and watch how they act. Good job, Becca. Look at you being in tune. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, the Emperor. Everything is going to work out for you. I want you to affirm that right now 3 times. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. This day, within the next 6 to 9 hours, if you take this advice and distract yourself from the negative emotions within you and allow the Tower to fall, you will see that the ruin is the road to transformation, as Elizabeth Gilbert says in that book, Eat, Pray, Love. Ruin is the road to transformation. So it might be uncomfortable, it might be painful, you might see things and experience things you didn't want to, you might see people for who they really are when you don't want to look at them that way, but that's okay. It is an opportunity to move forward and to grow. It is an opportunity to take action with the Emperor and to lead your empire and your business and your life with dignity instead of other people's voices in your head keeping you stuck in analysis paralysis of your emotions. Put the emotions aside, focus on what you can improve, and let what you can't improve show you how unimprovable it really was. All right, my loves? I truly hope this helps you for the highest and greatest good of everyone involved, because even the venomous ones, poisonous ones, etc., deserve to have a happy life. Let them have their own. You can have your own. You don't need to involve yourself with snakes if you're a beautiful bird of peace. You don't need to involve yourself with wolves if you're a sheep. You don't need to involve yourself with crocodiles if you're a turtle. Like, you don't need to do that. Stay in your lane. Help the people you can. Don't get involved in needless drama. And if conflict occurs, handle it with grace, not with conflict. Fire does not put out fire. Water puts out fire. When there's too much water, you bring in earth. When there's too much earth, you bring in air. When there's too much air, you bring in a little bit of fire and earth to create a little destruction. And then you bring it out with water and earth to create growth. Use your imagination. I love you. Take care of yourself. I might do another one of these later tonight. I'm not sure. But doing these live streams is actually really easy because I don't have to upload anything. I just click this little button on the screen and the video uploads in like 2 minutes. It's fucking amazing. I love you guys. Take care of yourself.